weeks ago. It was a lot.
No, it was payback for you posting those Michael Jackson memes. Small thing, little
Yes.
packages. Hey guys, we are back. It has been a 3 or 4 week hiatus. Fame, because of his, karma, got a little sick.
There we
You guys
go.
may have seen it on Twitter, but we are back. Some upgraded stuff. Kaz got a new angle. Fame. Demi is sounding flex. Oh, Dallas, he is getting hard with that Cambodian titty milk. But let's get into it with these intros. Kev, how you doing? It's been a long time, baby.
It has been a long time. I feel like I don't even know. I think I'm a different person now. I don't think y'all know me anymore. It's been so long. Fame's still alive, thankfully. We got a little worried there for it was a rough ride, but we back now. Dallas, I don't even know how I feel about seeing you again. I mean, you're not on cam, so it don't matter either way, which is good. We can keep it that way. But I mean, I don't know, man. That's gonna take me a while. There's gonna be an adjustment period for sure. I gotta get used to y'all again.
It's like we're disease.
Pretty much.
Now, I don't have good intros like Fame, but I'm gonna say my favorite person, Demi. How you doing?
I'm great. I'm glad to be here. I am here for the Women and Wine, and I have been listening to Drake before this podcast, so I'm ready to get into some feelings about video games. Let's do it.
As long as you don't cry, we're fine.
Oh no, I'm not crying.
Now,
At bare minimum, we gonna get Dallas's in.
yeah.
D.
Now.
Yo, let me shut my bitch.
Oh, you want to do it?
Oh, you got it. Go ahead. Be me. Gotta get the timing right though.
DallazMan.
Man,
How you at, Dallas?
I'm excited to be back, man. For one, I'm glad that Fame didn't die, because if you die, we have to kill you.
Oh,
I'm glad.
He's not wrong.
I'm glad that Demi is in this mug. Like, you the closest thing to normal that we'll ever get on the show. And like, I don't even know what I'm gonna be able to say, not even about Kevin, but like to him, because Snips is like a famous streamer now, and like we can't talk to him. We have to have his people call our people, and we'll do lunch.
It was true.
my man privilege kicked in, so we can go faster on Twitch.
Man. And now I gotta get with Hugger, like the genius of the group, so she can put me whole streaming thing and show me how to make it do what it do.
Yo, other Zinc, help us out. You say somebody's low. Who's low? Let me know so I can adjust it.
Oh, before we get to the topics, the one that had the most karma coming to him, small thing, the little packages, go back to episode 100 and you'll get a good laugh out of that.
Wasn't me.
Fame, with his chanclatas about to get in with some video game heat. How you doing?
Yo, I'm doing great, man. I'm just happy, like I said, I'm just happy to be alive. I'm happy to be back talking about video games. I'm happy to be and work on the things that are to come. I'm excited to talk about these topics tonight. And yeah, man, let's get it going. Yeah, buddy.
I, the floor hugger, constant thorn in the side of these guys, always here posting inappropriate memes.
Facts.
Make sure to follow all of our social media. It's on screen. The little icons show what people have. Unfortunately, Meek is not with us right now, but hopefully he'll be back soon. And we have so much to cover because we missed so much. So the first topic that, before Fame takes back over, that I want to get into with Kev, let's talk about Valorant.
Well, I know. So you have some groundbreaking stuff for us. Mine was more just about the game itself. I did end up getting a drop to get entered into the closed beta, so I've messed around with it a little bit, and I was a bit pleasantly surprised about some things of it. The feel of it was a little bit different than what I tried to catch from watching it. So I don't know. Do you want to get into, or do you want to save that to be like the I'm gonna rain on your parade at the end kind of thing?
I'll rain on your parade at the end.
Okay. All right. So yeah, I got the drop last week. I think it was Thursday or so. Decided to get into it. People kind of try and sell you on it as a mix of Counter-Strike and Overwatch. Right now, in my experience, especially, much more Counter Strike than Overwatch. Really, it's just Counter Strike and your utility, instead of being in the form of grenades that you throw, it's in abilities that are specific to each hero. And some of them have abilities that kind of overlap, but they all work in their own unique ways and have their own benefits and all that kind of stuff. So abilities that can like smoke an area, so it smokes it off, makes it impossible to see through. Healing abilities that can throw like basically a flashbang around a corner, that kind of stuff. So it's pretty standard. It's nothing like brand new. You're not going to see anything you've never seen before, but it does put it all together in a pretty good way. What I like is the mechanics of it, kind of the gameplay itself, and the skills required to be successful at it. If you're play a lot of Counter Strike, or like especially for like pros transitioning from other esports, if you're a Counter Strike pro, you can almost guarantee instant success in Valorant. It's very Counter Strike in terms of the play style. It's much more passive, reactive, holding angles, not rushing in trying to get 5Ks or anything like that. And then it's in terms of its strategy too, because it has the whole planting and diffusing mechanic to it, different bomb sites on various maps. Right now, there are only 4 maps, if I'm remembering right, so not a ton of variety, but each map is fairly detailed. And there are some variations too. So like in Counter-Strike, every map is 2 bomb sites. You have an A and a B bomb site. There's a map in Valorant that has a 3rd bomb site, a C bomb site, and they all have their unique angles of approach and all that kind of stuff. So it's pretty neat. It's fun to be in that kind of 5v5 round by round game type again for me, because I've been out of that for a while. Whereas Overwatch is more of like the instant respawn until a certain thing is reached. This is each individual round by itself, so it adds another level of tension to it. And the aim mechanics and everything feel pretty crisp and good right now. A couple of the heroes are going to need some balancing, but it looks like they've got a good platform to start with, at least. I don't think it's going to dethrone Counter-Strike. I don't think it's going to dethrone Overwatch, but it may find a place somewhere amongst both.
Bam, you're muted. I can see your face making want to talk something.
No, it's because I accidentally clicked Kevin's picture and I don't know how to get out of it.
What's up, baby?
It says your mic is low.
No, they talking about Kevin. Top right corner.
Yeah. Top right corner.
My mic is low?
I guess. That's what Others Inc. is saying. So, Kev talked about all the good points of Valorant. Oh, now Kev is in all the boxes. What's going on?
Oh.
It's doing it for me still with Dallas.
No, we good. I fixed it. It was me. I fixed it. We're good.
Damn.
But yeah, we're working
on.
on.
You have to scroll down on the chat.
Don't do it.
You have to scroll down right now.
What?
I don't think you want to do it.
Because that Pornhub link is up.
What are you talking about?
Yes.
Mr. Creamery.
Yes, perfect.
What the hell are y'all talking about?
But you know what? Ryan Creamer, he doesn't post porn. Anyway, so Valorant. A lot of people are downloading. A lot of people are having fun. But I'm going to say this. Some Ordinary Gamers, Mudahar, he posted a video. He's a lot more technical about stuff.
Oh, snap. My bad. I'm just not sitting there talking about with the porn link. And I was like, I didn't post no porn link.
Hold on. Nick Hub, I'm getting to that. On your computer, there's 5 rings of protection. The lowest and then the highest is ring 0. Bottom is ring 1. Ring 0 or ring 5. The ring 0 is where you, the administrator, run. So Valorant installs on ring 0 even without asking for your permission. So, and at boot, it runs right from. You don't even have to launch the game. At boot, it runs right at ring 0. All the time, anytime you boot your computer up, as long as it's installed, it runs at ring 0. And Riot, don't forget, is owned by Tencent, which is a Chinese company, media company that has their fingers in a ton of pies. And if you're big in China, you have to be okayed by the government. This isn't a conspiracy theory. Don't get on that. It's their anti-cheat. There's no proven way that it doesn't have a backdoor into your computer right now. They haven't come out and said, yeah, we don't use the administrator privileges. They haven't said that. They said that we don't, quote unquote, use it, but there's no proof that they do not use it, you know? So for any game to install, you put in, like, every game has anti-cheat, like VAC. is the Steam one that they use for Counter-Strike. I can't remember what Ubisoft uses, but there's a whole bunch of other. The Punkbuster is another one. But just the fact that it runs at the administrator level and can make changes and do things to your computer without your permission and without your knowledge is something to be worrying about when you install this game. If you are okay with that, or if you're using it on a secondary system, go ahead. But that's just something to be conscious of when you're playing this game. Riot is owned by a Chinese company. They're installing something at an administrator level that is not okay, in my opinion. That's why as good as the game is looking, I just not gonna touch it, because until I can get the confirmation that you're not looking through all my files playing, or not even as I'm playing, as I'm booting up, then that's when I'll play it. But there's nothing right now.
I mean, they're all looking anyway. It's just whether or not they want to
True.
tell you about it.
But they're not so blatant to say, hey, we're gonna download it at administrator level and deal with it.
Okay.
You're back in charge.
You got that out of your system? Y'all seem really pissed about that.
I'm kind of with her on that, though. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
they don't out front say it, and unless you look through the files, you won't know it. So some people will download it onto their computer unknowingly, and
that's pretty messed up.
Tencent just has direct access to your system.
Yeah, that's
being sneaky.
Any more
like
thoughts?
They could put a mining program. They could put malware.
Pornhub.
They could put anything. That's on you.
They never put anything that fun. This is the Chinese government we're talking about.
That's true.
Anything else on this before we move on to one of our bigger topics of the day?
I got it out of my system.
Cool. So I said it before, I said it on Twitter. I don't deal with a lot of information that comes from 4chan, because a lot of stuff on 4chan is complete crap. So I ignore it until someone who I believe is credible comes through and say, hey, I'm hearing some of these things too. This one may be legit, right? So the rumor we got on 4chan is that Xbox is having 2 events, one in May, one in June. That the May event will be more of a true console reveal, and they will be revealing a lot of things along with showing off 2 big titles. And one of those titles is supposed to be Fable. We're supposed to finally see Fable. And then we're supposed to be having another event in June. We're supposed to be the E3 event, where we're supposed to be seeing pretty much, they're supposed to be pulling out the stops. We're supposed to be seeing the new Obsidian game, not Grounded, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. It's actually the big RPG Skyrim type game that they're making. We're supposed to be seeing what the initiative is doing. So basically, to boil it down, the rumors are suggesting that Microsoft is going all in on showing what their studios are doing. So y'all got any thoughts? Y'all really think Microsoft about to go ahead and drop the load? Or you think they're going to continue to hold stuff to the vest and like we'll pretty much see a bunch of nothing?
I certainly freaking hope so. Like, come on with it.
As y'all discussed, I'm gonna find the exact rumor to read it verbatim for y'all.
I really hope so. Like, it's about time. Let's see some of this stuff that we've been speculating about for 13 years.
I don't know if it's been that long. People like to speculate, but dang.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and read it for y'all, okay? If y'all got a minute. So that'll be 2 next generation Xbox events in the next 2 months. One in May will pretty much be a proper console reveal event, but it'll have a selective showcase game announcements, demos as well. The one in June will be the replacement for E3. Show is packed full of games. The exact form of these 2 is still being worked as we speak. It'll be live stream video content, which you kind of understand because of Rona. There will be a ton of new games by Xbox first party, big guns, medium games, a few smaller ones. Their new games are sharing a lot of tech built for UE4, from water to PBR, GI procedural systems with optimized Houdini access, I think that's right. VRS generation for bigger scale, complete RPG system and plays focus on great third-party fights and fluid animations, which a lot of people are really big into the third person. I said third person, adult style game. So fights and fluid animations. From the sounds of it, I expect the game to hit 2022, and that's supposed to be Fable. Big exclusive new IP from a Japanese studio. That stuck out because if you notice, Microsoft is finally getting games like Yakuza on Microsoft, and now we're getting the rumors about them having some type of partnership with Sega. And then I don't know if you guys remember, like a year and a half ago, Sega took random pictures of themselves being at Microsoft Studio. I don't know if y'all remember that. Sega posted on their Twitter handle they was at Microsoft, and like we heard nothing from that. So I don't know if that possibly could be that they're doing something with Sega, but it's supposed to be a big new exclusive with a Japanese studio. Halo Infinite has a huge open world you can explore, yet the story missions themselves are linear, which I think is cool. I really didn't want no true open world Halo. I want it to still be linear, but kind of almost like Gears 5 in a way. Just more in the open world. Like, hey, yeah, you can go out here, but you still have a direct path you need to take, which I actually prefer. Yet the story missions themselves are linear to still be able to progress through the story in a more classic way. Optional exploration it's much more ambitious campaign this time. Not your usual 6 to 9 hours, because we know Halo 5 was super duper short. They're going to be a very bold move for multiplayer, which will surprise people, but this move has the potential to bring Halo multiplayer back on the top play games on Xbox. Now, first time I read this, I was like, what could they possibly do? But then watching Randall Thor's video, he spoke about them possibly having Halo's multiplayer be free. And if you want to compete with the top play games on Xbox, the top play games are Call of Duty, Warzone, Fortnite, Apex. So if you make Halo multiplayer free, that would make it one of the top play games on Xbox. For Obsidian, he puts Oh My God Obsidian, which kind of leads us back to the whole other RPG game that they're making. Forza Motorsports gets a complete reboot, internal retooling of Forza Tech. Engine is positioned for next gen now, whatever that means. Further reboots incoming. Just to tease what's to come. The next 2 months are going to be fire. And like I said, I wouldn't have got no credence to just random person who's posting on 4chan up until somebody like Randall Thor came out and was like, yeah, I'm hearing some of this stuff too. So
listen, man,
I know it was a lie.
Unless it's on 52chan, it ain't legit, bro.
Man, you got a lot more chance to go, a lot more to forward before you get it right. But if we lucky and this happens, maybe it'll start a trend of showing games that people should be hyped for, and then maybe actually releasing those games for people to be able to play them when it's time. Like maybe we can get back to the gaming industry being the gaming industry and not the overall tech industry.
And if this is true, it's kind of good news to see Microsoft not only pushing out new IPs, which is what we want, obviously, right? But they're might be revisiting some older IPs. I think that's great because I think Microsoft has a lot of IPs they let just sit in the wayside. Like if you could bring some of those back,
Skies.
yeah, Microsoft. If you can bring some of those back and not necessarily have your first party studios make them, it could be a third party studio bringing back a game that somebody they work closely with. You don't have to necessarily make the initiative. Be the ones doing a Perfect Dark.
Bring back 1 versus 100.
Yo, somebody else said that recently, and I thought that was tripping.
We don't need Crimson Skies. We have Flight Simulator.
Bring back 1 versus
I'm gonna
100.
buy both.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like, I'm good on Flight Simulator. Like, it looked pretty, but I'm like, unless I got like an actual flight kit at home, I'm not gonna be playing on the controller. That's boring.
Bro, Flight Simulator is for people that want to like train to be a pilot. I'm not trying to pull it up.
Exactly. I'm trying to get my pilot's license.
Like, I do it if the achievements are like really easy. Play the game, 1,000 achievement points, cool. But
it's like one of those games that you don't intend to spend hours in, and then you spend too many hours in, and you're like, oh no.
If you just want to play that, go play Ace Combat.
No, because Flight Sim, it doesn't require missions. You can just do what you want. It's open.
No, go play Ace Combat.
Patrick O'Brien in chat said he would love Crimson Skies again.
Crimson Skies is so good.
Give me a Maker Soul.
All that news, yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I would, after the success of, Outer Worlds, I want to see what else they can bring.
And not necessarily an Outer Worlds
getting
sequel.
its DLC. No, not a sequel. I don't want a sequel.
I want them to make a new game.
Yeah, and I mean they did Fallout better than Fallout was. But anyway,
I do think people
I
are giving
think
Obsidian crap because of Grounded. And they forget like the Outer Worlds is not like an old game, and it was like loved across the board from a lot of people. I think people forget how good of a
well,
studio they are because of Grounded.
I think people
But you know,
forget things.
Quickly,
People forget.
people think you only as good as whatever you release.
what have you done for me lately?
Last album, yeah.
I mean, they
Kinda
they
like,
haven't missed a beat though. You got Pillars of Eternity, and you have
Oh, great
the
game.
Outer Worlds.
They haven't.
Hmm.
So
Well,
they haven't missed.
yeah,
look at
they
any
deserve a chance.
studio that you are the fan of and look back at their history. They have bombs. I love BioWare. They're here in my hometown, but they last few games have been bombs. But the first original Mass Effect series is amazing. They do the Star Wars Online game, which I play way too much of, and they have the was it Jade Empire? Did they do?
Yep.
Yeah, that's a game I would love to see come back.
No,
Dragon Age.
Stop
I would
trying
buy
to
an
resurrect
Xbox.
old stuff. Make something new.
Now some
I don't
stuff
care.
should
I'll
come
buy an
back.
Xbox for
Nobody
Jade
has-
Empire.
Nah, some stuff needs to
Some
come.
stuff
I
needs
would
to come
buy
back.
an Xbox for Jade Empire.
Now,
Like Jade Empire
the
is the
system seller, if you ask
Shenmue
me.
we should have had.
Some stuff needs the RE and Final Fantasy VII treatment.
yeah.
Mhm.
Like I honestly like the Fable thing. Like it's the best kept secret in gaming, but I need that thing to be a reboot, not Fable 4. It needs to be a total. Like I want that joint to look like The Witcher.
You know, all right. So here's my gripe. Right, the thing that made Fable was the dark British humor that loomed around the gameplay.
Yes.
Yep.
I don't think that's
Exactly.
going to be captured by anybody correctly.
Mm-mm.
No,
Unless they bring on
because-
British consultants. Like get the dudes
Exactly.
behind Monty Python, bring them on as comedy consultants.
True.
Where is
That's
Playground
true.
located?
UK.
In the playgrounds.
So they're in the UK. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, they if they're in the UK, if they can nail it. But I don't know, something about what was the guy's name? Peter.
Hines.
Molly.
We gonna rip on Pete Hines
Yeah.
now?
Peter Molyneux.
I would love to.
There was just something about his writing that made Fable like hilarious.
but
Yeah.
You gotta capture that
Because the gameplay wasn't anything extraordinary.
exactly. It
So-
was the writing and humor behind
do
it.
you think that'll fly with what people are craving for? Because even the creators of Fable, the Lionhead Studios, they even came out and said that they didn't want to do Fable Legends. They wanted to do a dark, gritty Fable game, and Microsoft didn't let them do that. They have to have it has to be. It can't be the same
Why
Fable game.
edgy? But why edgy though?
You can still do that and make it like
Because how many?
give it that same Fable personality. It can still
Because
be
yeah, like
funny, like that dark humor.
you can
Too
still.
many, too many, too many people
mean-
go for edgy and gritty and completely miss like
Miss the
what
mark.
was.
It doesn't have to be
Yeah.
gritty. It just can't look like this. Like you know how Crackdown 3 looked like Crackdown.
Oh, you don't want it to be animated and tune like.
Like I want that joint to be like I want it to be dark and gritty. Yes, to have the humor. It's not like there was a moment in like The Witcher you didn't like. Oh, that's funny. You laugh. They can still do that, but I want it to be a more. I just want it to be dark. I think Fable is a franchise that can do that and still kind of hold on to its comedic act. Its comedic parts of the game can still be there.
So more
just
Diablo
brought
4
up
than
some-
Diablo 3 kind of thing.
Yeah. But you just brought up something. If they go like Kevin's saying, Diablo 4 is gonna be from what you see with the trailer with Lilith, which if you guys haven't seen the Diablo 4 trailer, please go watch it. It's 9 minutes of just visual glory. It's very dark compared to Diablo 3. And it's more Diablo than Diablo 3. But you just brought up a good point there. You want Fable to be dark and gritty. Fable's never been a game that's dark and gritty because they've had other games to do that. Some of those games aren't around anymore. You put Fable as dark and gritty, people are gonna call, oh, this is the next Witcher. Because Witcher is dark and gritty.
Yes. And
Oh,
what
is this. But if I want to play Witcher, I'll go play Witcher because I know no matter how good Fable is, it's never going to be better than The Witcher.
got it.
Like, you a Dauntless.
And I don't want it to be a photocopy of Witcher. I don't. I just would like it in that style. I'm not saying it needs to be a photocopy. I'm not saying it needs to take away the core That's like for instance, God of War. In every essence, God of War is a reboot in a way, right?
It is.
But it's still God of War. Like even though it's
It's
changed,
a reboot and a continuation.
yeah.
Yeah.
But the
It
way
rides
it
that
looks,
line, though.
the way it looks, and the way it plays is completely different. But it's still God of War, and that's kind of what I'm looking for. A Fable, like I want you to still keep aspects of Fable, but I need you to change it up because I don't think a Fable 4, a continuation of what Fable was, I don't think that would fly or sell right now. And
Especially how Fable ended.
like that wouldn't fly right now. I think you have to change it up. It has to be a reboot. Plus, you have a new studio. Give them the opportunity to create the Fable storyline they want. You got rid of Lionhead for a reason. If you wanted Fable to continue to be Fable, you should have kept on Lionhead Studios. You wouldn't have dropped them.
Yeah.
Plus, you only have up to go from because big Fable fan, and I've studied like the things that they done between the original to Anniversary to 3, and after 3, you only got so much like up to go from there because they dropped the ball at 3 so bad.
Oh god, they really did. The ending of that was horse.
And
Oh
then
my God.
Legends was just.
Hold on, because Legends
It wasn't bad, but it was something different.
Legends.
I don't know why they just didn't release it.
Legends would have been the asymmetrical game in a lane that's only horror.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody else is doing something like that.
That Connect Fable game was stupid.
Oh, and Fable Heroes actually kind of fire.
We don't talk about Connect games in this house.
But
if we're gonna talk about the true, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you, Demi, but if we're gonna talk about the true Connect game, it has to be that Star Wars Connect game that has the dancing in the middle, the Han Solo. You guys remember that?
no,
Yes.
you're
Star
not
Wars
talking about
Connect.
the true Connect game with Sonic and you're
true-
riding the boards. Come on,
God.
no.
Sonic Riders. Come on.
If you want a preview, if you've never played that game, you want a preview of it. Michael, when he used to from Achievement Hunter, he used to do Rage Quit. He played that game. That's all the summary you need of what Sonic is on the Connect.
Right. But then
But
you have nowhere to go from but up with Fable. I just want them to not necessarily capture the old feeling, but don't lose what was there from it.
What
I'm
would the
with it.
story be?
It would have to
Because
be a
there's
new
only so
story.
much,
It
I
has to
started
be a
from the
reboot.
I don't want to start it from the bottom story.
It would either
It has to be a reboot.
or like a prequel reboot, like go before the original one, or like that could work.
Because remember, Fable is always just started from the bottom story.
Because to me, it's always weird when a different developer takes over a franchise. Like,
Yeah.
and then it isn't originally what you love. It's like Gears. Like, multiple people think about how much they love Gears or Halo. They always think about the original games. It's always weird when a different developer takes over, and because they have to go with what was kind of left behind, and maybe what was on the board to go forward, not their own original story. Which is why I want to see like 343 make their own game besides Halo, because I want to see what they can do with their own brains from ground up.
If you want me to be honest, 343 is working with an all gun because they just all they doing is just picking up where the story left off, and people are gonna like look at them with a like heavily just because of what they doing. In fact, I think the Halo Wars 2 team is like rivaling Bungie in story, just how they like wrote it.
That's true. Like people rip on Destiny too, but it has some story. I know a lot of people aren't into that, but it has some story.
You got Patrick in our chat right now. We'll talk to you all day about Destiny's story. Man is a lore fiend.
I'm with him on it though.
Love lore. I played Anthem for the lore.
Ew.
I think
I'm with you on that too. I played Anthem for the lore. I'm right there with you.
To end this
Anthem
topic,
is getting better, I will say. I'm not saying it's great. It's still kind of like, but I don't know what they've been doing in the last few weeks, but something is changing in the game, and it's kind of getting better. But until that big release it's still one of the best flying games I've ever played. Like your suit, you're flying, that feels so good. But
cool
something is changing.
really quick to end this topic before we move on. with the rumors. At the end of the day, Microsoft, if these events are true, they need to blow out, show us everything. Put it all out in the line, show us some games, old IPs, new IPs. I hope this rumor is
I
real.
want to see their PC stuff because I don't care about the console stuff. Show me what you're doing PC wise.
Well, I mean, they making PC exclusives now, or PC time exclusives now, apparently, with Gears Tactics.
I don't know
But
how actual
you know what I
Xbox
want?
fans feel about it, but to me, it'd be nice to see Halo and say whatever go into hibernation. If you're gonna milk something, let it be Gears and let us get some new stuff.
Yeah, like somebody else said in the chat, Mr. Too Opinionated, he said it as well. I said we need 343 to make a game besides Halo. Make another game.
Yep.
Like, I want to see how much talent your studio really has.
I would love to see BioWare make something other than Dragon Age, Mass Effect, and Star Wars. Give it to me. Give me that studio. I know you guys are talented. I know you hire talented people. Show me what you can do. I want to see what 343 can do. Because you're locked into that mold of, I need to make this. It needs to play this way. It needs to feel this way. Show me what you can do.
Really quick, for those who are watching, please do me a favor. No matter where you're watching, please hit that subscribe or follow button. Hit the like button. Share the podcast out. Help us grow. We got a lot of cool things coming for you guys. Like we can't wait to share out. So hit the like button, subscribe, all that good stuff, and we're gonna get ready to move on.
We have a lot of topics to cover, so this show might run a little long.
We really do. Really fast. Run back to the chat.
It's been 3 weeks.
Back to
It's been a minute.
is it Cal Snap? Cal Snap said D2 story takes time to get into. He says Anthem has always been fire for him. They just need to get new content on tap often enough. Other Zinc says he's on wave 43 in horde mode. Master in Gears 5 is the best Gears. Patrick says, I missed Grimoire cards. I have no idea what that is. Is that Destiny 2 related?
Oh,
for Destiny.
That's it's the original Destiny. When you would do things and unlock, you would get your Grimoire and you would build that up.
Yeah, and
like an achievement hunter kind of thing.
In reply, I'm guessing to what I said. Other Zinc said Halo hasn't been around in 5 years. You right? But what I'm saying is just Halo is Xbox's identity in a way.
It's like Mario to Nintendo.
Halo has been around because we're getting the Master Chief Collection, at least on PC, which has all new remasters of the old games. So they've been working on Halo for years. They've never stopped.
And here's the thing. 343 is Microsoft's biggest studio with the most employees. Now, I don't see why you couldn't take 30 to 50 people and let them go make a game. Kind of how
they could probably give 200 people and let them go make a game.
If Ninja Theory could go make another game, if Obsidian could go make another game, let them go and do something creative. That's all I'm asking. You don't need a 500-man studio that's only doing Halo. Like,
I'm sure they
make the best Halo ever. Okay.
And I'm not trying to come down on 343. I'm not, right? Because I'm not down on the Halo games like some people are. I'm just saying I want to see what they can do creatively.
The potential that they have.
Yes, that's all I want to see.
Like the people they hire. Let's just say that this is in the days when they hired people when you had to have a degree, at least for concept artists and all that stuff. The 4 years you have to go through school, or 5 or 6, some people, you learn so much that just doing this for your entire career is going to kill you. But if you get the chance to go up and do this, that's going to be amazing for you. And they hire that many people with this mindset that gets squished down into this. So let them have that wide mindset. Let them do their thing. And I can't wait to see what comes out because either the people get burnt out and never exit the game industry forever and we get some of the best designers leaving, or they get frustrated, open their own studio, and then they get burnt out and leave anyway.
I'm just saying.
Just let people do their thing.
And I'm not trying to compare studios. If you got studios like Naughty Dog that can make 2 big games and just alternate them.
Mm-hmm. Oh, speaking of Naughty Dog, anybody who owns a PS4, the Nathan Drake collection is going to be free. Nathan Drake and Journey is going to be free from 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight to May 5th. So go pick that up. The Nathan Drake collection is all the games.
You haven't played that yet.
I haven't played the Uncharted games.
Oh yeah, do that.
I play Tomb Raider instead.
All right, so
they're both great series, respectively.
To move on.
Amen.
We've
So we got a whole bunch of like small topics.
Let's talk about we got confirmation that Resident Evil 4 is being remade.
Wait, is it confirmed? Because
wasn't it
Yes.
confirmed?
Yep.
I believe it was
Was
confirmed.
it?
There is another remake in the works, and there's also a Resident Evil 8 in the works.
Well, remember, right now, Resident Evil 3's out, but they have. Oh God, I wanted to call it Raccoon City. It's not that. What is the new one? The multiplayer one.
Resistance, yeah.
That's coming out as well, but I don't know if it's been like confirmed internally, but Resident Evil 4 has been leaked. There's been images out there, kind of like what they did with Assassin's Creed Origins, how you see Bayek and Tomb and stuff. Oh, who did we just lose?
He back.
There we go.
Okay.
Yeah,
Bro,
sorry,
It's been kind of confirmed.
Can I have it? Because I'm a huge Ari fan.
Demi, lay that sexy voice on us.
This doesn't need to be remade. I'm gonna just say it like that. It's perfectly fine in the time that it's come out and the ports that it's had. We don't need to remake 4, especially when you have Zero and Cove just sitting right there.
Thank you.
Oh, I agree.
Thank you.
You don't need to do 4 because 4 has been fine with every port that you guys have made for it since it originally came out 2 console cycles ago.
You know what's gonna end up happening, right? Once they finally do make it around to that 4 remake, people gonna start whining again. Oh, it's too much action in these remakes. They're not scary anymore.
You know what they really need to do?
Scary.
You know what they really need to do?
What, you don't want the boulder punching of 5 with
No,
Chris?
what they need to do, give us what we want. You need to remake Resident Evil 6 so you can finally put that Metapod, giving that dome to that giraffe, like you put in the image in the game.
Exactly.
Give
They
us
need
what
to
we
change
want.
that. If you guys have not seen it in somehow, I don't know if you haven't seen it, look up the Resident Evil cover art. It looks like a giraffe getting a long blow away from a Metapod.
People really want like 4 and 5 to be redone. I see why. They're
But
great.
Veronica.
You have Zero and Cole Veronica right there to be done.
Metapod is a slut.
Give me Sherry Birkin's story.
Be done.
You even have Outbreak just sitting right there to be done also.
And yeah, Outbreak,
Mhm.
like,
Mm-hmm.
if Resistance had been its own game, it should have been Outbreak.
If Resistance had been Outbreak set in the RE3 universe, it would have been fine.
I'm looking at Kevin, and something tells me he's looking up Resident Evil 6.
I was.
I could
The cover art really does look like a giraffe getting a blow.
Look it up again and refresh
His
my
screen
memory.
turned.
Right.
It got purple in his room
If
for
you
a
guys
second. I'm
haven't
thinking
seen
he's
that,
looking
please
at it.
Google that because it is the funniest thing. And once you see it, you cannot
You can't unsee
it.
it. You can't.
You're always terrible.
That's a
Oh,
giraffe and a
yeah,
Metapod. It is.
But
I'm gonna start my
like-
own podcast away from y'all.
Resident Evil has been brought. What did it start on the Wii?
What?
Anybody?
4?
Yeah, it was.
No,
it,
it was
it
a
didn't
GameCube.
start on the Wii.
GameCube.
It was GameCube.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then it
Yeah.
was ported to the Wii, and ported to PC. I don't know if you
PS2.
guys
ported
seen.
to PlayStation. Then it was
That's
ported
true.
to.
Yeah.
Then it was ported to Wii. Then it was ported to 360 PC. Stuff
I don't know
like
if you
that.
guys have seen the PC version, but it will rival what comes out. It is so good. There's so many. It's like so many mods out there for it, but it doesn't matter what they do. There's going to be something somebody doesn't like that'll be like, oh, there's a mod out there for. But Demi's right. There's
doesn't
Zero
need to be
and Code
touched.
Veronica.
Like
I would love Code
It's-
Veronica.
Cole
Yeah,
Veronica. I don't know why people at Capcom hate Cole Veronica. Like fans had to beg the port to come over to like PlayStation and Xbox. But
Mhm.
like 4 is fine. Leave it alone. You don't
It's
need
really good.
to do anything with 4 at all. Like and people are like, oh, 5 done. Listen, just give us 8. And if
Yeah.
you're gonna do 0
Sorry,
or
Patrick.
CVX, and that's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So shout out to Patrick. I think he went and looked at that logo of 6 because he put.
I think he was
I think he
struck
went to
by
go see
the
it.
giraffe blowy. Mr. Too Opinionated said, imagine if Bungie had stayed and we had oh my god, Destiny and Halo, a studio doing one IP franchise is goofy. I don't think we would have got one or the other. I think one would have suffered while the other rose. And don't forget, when Destiny 1 deal was struck, that was the most lucrative deal in game history. It still is. $500 million for 5 games. That didn't end up working out, but that was the deal. It was all over Times Square, all over in Toronto Yonge Square. It was everywhere. We got kind of like, yeah, Bungie left, but Destiny ran because Bungie left. Now we just got to see if Halo continues to run, because we were doing our E3 reactions, and Mika's like, I don't know what's going on. That's the Halo 2 armor. And I'm like, but what if it's like a flashback, kind of like a prequel weird thing? So we got a lot of things to see. When Halo finally
has
dropped.
a lot to push forward with, especially since they were kind of like setting up this Avengers Infinity War type ordeal with Atriox coming over from Halo Wars 2.
Yep.
And like he's supposed to be the big final boss and all of this. So they have a lot to run with. I just want them to set it up properly. I just want a lot of things to be set up properly. Just like I want Capcom to not do RE4 and leave us alone and set that up properly also. So, you know.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Shifting gears just a little bit. Thoughts on we didn't get to talk about this because we were out, because I was out. We finally got to see the we got to see the DualSense, not the DualShock 5, the DualSense, which makes me think the console is about to get shown the next like 3 weeks. I feel it. Because you're not going to show the controller, then wait 2 months to show us the console, right?
Or maybe that's exactly what they'll do.
When I first saw it, I was like, this thing is ugly, get it out my face. But the more I looked at it, I was like, all right, it's kind of clean. I don't really feel the original picture we saw was like that white and black two-tone kind of ugly. But the mock-ups I've seen a lot of people do, and people need to realize this. Don't get hyped up over mock-ups, because Sony has proven this gen, and I'm sorry, they can't make really good custom consoles. Like that Spider-Man controller could have been so much better, and they dropped the ball.
There's really nothing to it. It's just a red controller with white buttons and joysticks, and then the light is naturally blue when it lights up.
So unfortunately, don't let the fans hype y'all up about, possible the way this controller will look as far as custom goes. But the more I look at what Sony actually gave us, the more I kind of like it.
I honestly feel like I'm not going to know. I'm not really going to be able to say anything until I get it in my hand. Until I'm actually able to play a game with it and see what it feels like, I can't say. I mean,
because what if the paint job is shit and it rubs off 8 hours in?
That's it. All I can really comment on is the aesthetic. All I can really comment on. And look-wise, I feel like when those custom controllers come in, and Twitter has been doing the damn thing like they always do with all these mock-ups, and I'm down for it. Let me get the all-black one. Let me get that Spider-Man one, because that's all I'm going to be playing with when Spider-Man comes out on PS5.
What you're saying is one of my points. Like, I think that the mock-ups are setting us up to be disappointed of what Sony actually gives us.
They're often not as cool as the official.
Yeah.
That's true.
Well, you know what Sony needs to do, and Xbox does this, and I don't understand why Sony doesn't do, especially with the PlayStation 4 with its flat top, it's so easy to design on, is reach out to independent artists. Xbox does that all the time. You see that with the consoles, some of the one-offs they promote every once in a while. Sony doesn't do that. They want to keep everything in-house and everything in their brand. It's like, so like what if you pay $100,000 to an artist to design you something that's going to be a limited run of 500? You're going to make your money back tenfold.
But this next gen, if we don't get nothing cool, I'll just do it myself.
So like the Spider-Man PS4, because I got that one, the Spider-Man PS4 Pro, right? It's literally
you
just
you got to show it now.
I ain't about to go grab that. No. It's just a red console with the white spider on it.
It's a sticker.
They could have literally, if they would have done a random series or something of say the comic book covers, if they would have grabbed random comic book covers or commissioned a new comic book cover and had that over that perfectly rectangular flat surface at the top,
right?
That would have been dope. Like the rest of the console could have been nothing, or if you want to make it white and put little lines like their comic book pages or some shit.
So
that would have been something really cool.
Now, mind you,
opportunities, but they're just red, white spider, ship it. Good to go.
I'm gonna tell you the most ugliest controller from Sony for the PlayStation. That Darth Vader controller was
ugly.
That was ugly. Yeah.
Now, mind
You
you,
know they
somebody's
could've
gonna say games is what matter. Y'all were talking about controllers, but look at what Microsoft like does, like as far as got
Games
the snow.
matter
Yeah, but Microsoft
100%.
they kill it with stuff
But-
like this. Like the detail on this controller is amazing.
Games,
And that,
yeah, games matter 100%. But like, I don't know if you guys can see my controller wall. When I'm going to play a retro game, I'm reaching for these 8-bit controllers, and I'm pulling a retro controller up because I have an Xbox controller. I play on PC. That could be great, but I want something that's gonna give me that vibe. I want something that's gonna be like, this is a piece of art, or like Jeremy Dooley from Achievement Hunter. He has a wall of custom controllers. Yeah, exactly like that.
The best
that's
controller
the
this
toughest-
gen.
That's the best
toughest
controller.
Xbox has made. Next to the Ghost ones.
I
that's the
wonder if you
best
can see the
controller
glow in the
they've
dark.
made.
Oh, I guess it's too. There it is.
You gotta,
The skull
you gotta
glows in
charge
the-
it kind of up.
No, you don't have the skull glows in the dark. There's no batteries in this. But the skull.
No,
saying,
I meant,
you
like,
gotta
charge up
shine a
the
light, a
UV.
bright
Oh,
light.
okay.
Yeah, so
But
you-
yeah, this
Yeah.
is. I bought this. I bought one and I gave one away. And this controller right now, if you try to find it, you're paying $200-300 for this controller.
Controllers are like shoes. You need the thing that fits you at that
Got the
moment.
gold.
Xbox
You can
got
have
some
whatever
ugly
you
controllers
want.
too, though, because the PUBG controller was pretty ugly.
Oh yeah, that was the PUBG controller was whack.
PUBG controller was ugly.
It was.
Well, PUBG's kind of an ugly game.
Oh, shots fired.
I almost had somebody buy that for me. I'm like, yo, please save your money. Please save.
Yo,
your
remember
money.
they did it on 360 too. Remember that?
Yeah, bro.
Microsoft used to come with that
Microsoft
heat,
got the
bro.
controller game a lot, but a lot of
You know
people doing
what's-
these DualSense mock-ups. Not to cut you off, a lot of people doing these DualSense mock-ups, and I see like a lot of potential, but that's up to Sony if they're gonna snap like that.
Yeah.
Facts.
They want to keep everything in house, which is killing them. You know what they could do? And if you guys haven't seen anybody out there, on your PS4, the super shiny part on the top is where your actual hard drive is, and that can be slid off. You just kind of like push off the side of it. Like if you're on top of it and you push it to the side, it'll pop right off. And if you open up the whole PS4, there's room for them. And was it the Gears 5 console where they actually cracked into the case?
The Gears
Yeah.
5, yeah.
Yeah, Sony has enough room to do that. You could do, if you didn't want people to see the insides, you could do like an opaque resin throughout and LEDs on the bottom that would shine through. They could do a whole bunch of things. They just refuse to. Dallas, you okay?
Now,
Oh my God!
Becky.
The Cyberpunk.
The boxes
The
are. okay.
Cyberpunk controller.
yeah,
Did you see this? Did you see the Cyberpunk
No.
graphics card?
they
Yeah.
had like a
That's
mock-up of like
No, this just leaked.
Oh,
for
really?
Xbox?
I'm about to post it right now.
Is this breaking news on the WXP podcast?
Ah, that's not what I wanted
We're
to
having
do.
breaking news, guys. Ding, ding, ding.
I wanted to actually show over there, not a download link. Why
You
is that-
gotta download the file. Oh, it's a JFIF. Convert it to a JPEG. Just
Yeah,
save it as
I
a
got it.
.jpeg.
Is it the
JPEG.
yellow?
Let me see this ugly beast.
I'm about to show y'all right now.
Oh. No, I don't like that. Do you want me to post it?
It's
'Cause
just,
I got it.
yeah,
up.
can you put it on there? Cause we were just talking about
Yeah.
controllers, and this controller just leaked.
Hold on. I'm just gonna save it as a JPEG.
Bringing
Please,
high
'cause
leaks.
I'm trying to see this controller.
We got that juice.
It's kind of ugly, I gotta say. Hold on.
It's on May 4th. Supposed to release. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want to cop it.
I want to cop it, but it's kind of ugly.
I wish it had yellow in it.
That's
Can-
why I'm like it's.
Can we,
Hold
can
on,
we
hold
get the
on.
upload, please?
Hold
Sorry,
on. I'm
sorry.
trying.
I'm actually
Post
converting.
it. Post it. Oh my God, post it.
Can we get the upload,
There you
please?
go. Oh
Nope, hers
no,
did it
it's
too.
saved as a JPEG Jiffy.
Really?
Y'all are actually
Nice.
awful.
Hold on.
I'm gonna open
Just
this
click on it
file
and-
on my computer.
Hold on.
I don't want this mischievous file on my phone.
Hold on, I got y'all. I got
It's
y'all.
okay for anybody who hasn't seen it. It is matte black
Here it
on
is.
the right side with a shiny gray.
Oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that's nice. What?
I'm gonna have to
No.
adjust it for people to see.
bad.
Ooh, not that way.
Because the colors they broadcasted the game as need yellow. It's in the marketing. It has to have yellow somewhere. They could have done a yellow along the crack.
It's not a cyberpunk controller in terms of its color scheme.
And it's
It
not a
doesn't have
cyberpunk
that-
controller in terms
that
of its
Hotline
looks.
Miami neon lights color scheme.
Yeah. It just has no
I was expecting
future.
more Ghost in the Shell type vibe with this.
Right?
I'm gonna mess
It
up
doesn't
the
even
boxes
look-
so people can see it, but there it is right there.
Patrick
There you
says yes, it needs to be yellow, blue, and black because those are the colors they set forth in their marketing package. Those are the colors they use.
Cyberpunk, but it's not
It-
Cyberpunk 2077.
It's cyberpunk in like a Cowboy Bebop sense where it's 90s cyberpunk because they're like, oh, edgy, dark colors, metal. But it's not. The only thing that gives it that cyberpunk feel is they could have even used shotgun shells as the thumbsticks, but they didn't.
Nah, because that's uncomfortable. That's super.
It is uncomfortable, but those are designer controllers at that point. When you're going for that, you're going for the design.
They should have like some LED lights and then they should have
Yeah.
a couple LED lights for like the controllers.
could've
But I
done so
would have
much.
turned the Xbox symbol into like a massive LED joint. But like,
You know what this looks like is the Keanu Reeves character, the Silver Arm or Silver Hand,
Oh
whatever
yeah,
his name
Johnny
is.
Silverhand. This might be
Yeah.
his controller.
That's what that looks like. If they come out with another, because if you guys saw the graphics card, it's yellow, blue, and black.
Yeah, so I think they're doing different editions.
I'm not gonna lie.
And they might,
I'm probably still gonna buy this.
because they just dropped the Johnny Silverhand collection on the Cyberpunk store. So that makes a lot of sense actually.
That's a nice gun
Those are-
logo.
Y'all, I think everybody here would want something more like this.
That's what I want
Yeah,
because that's Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a feeling that's coming, but this
With-
is probably
with
just the
pink
Johnny
triggers
Silverhand.
too. It'll have hot pink triggers. Bet.
Yeah,
That's nice.
because
though.
that was the personal responsibility, that song that played from the trailer of the robot chick sitting on the ground with the police firing at her, that we got 8 years ago, and we're like, what is this?
So
You guys
I
remember
did
that
want.
trailer?
Oh, sorry,
I
my
do.
bad.
They got a statue floating around of her somewhere.
That was the first Cyberpunk trailer that dropped 8-9 years ago, and people are like, when is this coming out? When is this coming out? You guys, the song is Archive Bullet, I think the song is. But if you know Cyberpunk, you know that trailer immediately, because you're like, that is Cyberpunk, because people would be like, when is this coming out? When are we getting this? Like, come on. But the controller Kev just posted, that's what I expect, because that's what looks like the graphics card.
So
Yeah, I got a feeling this is coming.
I do too.
It better.
I wouldn't be shocked
And with the hot pink triggers too. I want
drop
that.
2 controllers. But I just wanted to bring it up because we literally talked about
Just to make it
controllers
fair,
and
also.
that one dropped. But so a game.
Well, I've been trying to buy the special edition because the special edition is sold out in Canada right now. Come on.
Now that controller fire, but the only problem is we'll never see it because Xbox has the marketing rights to what Cyberpunk looks like. So we'll never get that, even though that looks dope as hell.
I can
I
see
don't
that
know
being
about
a skin.
that. You know who would do that? Colorware. Colorware
yeah.
repaints controllers all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think Microsoft has the market on that, because I'm not gonna buy Cyberpunk through Microsoft. I'm gonna buy it through GOG. No, I'll get a
I think-
discount.
No. They have the marketing rights. That's all. No, just the marketing rights.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
like everything they do, it'll be Xbox. They show a commercial.
Yeah,
it'll be
that's
with
why
Xbox.
they got the first dibs
Yeah.
to switch over from Xbox
What if
One to Series
What if
X.
GOG pulls a massive switch, because they have their own platform? They have GOG. CD has GOG, which GOG is their own Steam, which deals in like retro games and releases new games and indie games. What if they just pull a switch and be like, now we want to market with these guys? I wouldn't be surprised. I've seen them do that
contracts-
several times.
Contracts are signed. I doubt it.
Yeah, they was gonna go for
Yeah.
it. They do it now. Or they would have did it previously.
So let's go from controllers dropping from games dropping. One of the most anticipated games of the year has finally released with this year exclusivity on the PS4, which is Final Fantasy VII.
Oh, I was like, you got Last of Us, bitch? Okay.
For those who have purchased it, I haven't purchased it yet for the simple fact that I want it physically and I don't want it digitally. So
Ironically, the only person that don't play video games in this podcast has played this, Mr. Dallas.
Whoa, wait.
Whoa.
So I don't play video games.
That's fame. You don't play games.
Since when
No.
was that a thing?
You just take forever to play anything, I should say.
Do. I play a lot of stuff late, but I do have a habit of if it's a game that I've been anticipating, I have to get it day one. And I have been like that for a long time. Actually, most of the time I've been on this podcast, I was like that. But
That's
over the
true.
last maybe 2 years, I've been really making it a point not to buy games day one unless I like just really, really wanting them. Now, with Final Fantasy VII Remake, I'm with Fame. I really, really want that digital version.
I want the physical version.
I mean, yeah, physical version. My
Yeah.
bad. I did end up downloading the digital version because I went everywhere and everybody was sold out. I could not find the physical version.
I'd rather wait. That's just me.
And I just wasn't down to wait. I had to. And I'll give it this. Right now, at this moment, I am so into Final Fantasy VII. Because of this game, I'm so into Final Fantasy VII as a franchise that when I'm not playing my PS4 for whatever reason, say my girl wants to watch Netflix or whatever,
who actually watches Netflix? Everybody chilling.
For whatever reason, like say whatever happens, I am playing it on my Switch, like the original on my Switch.
Yeah.
And I hop back and forth. Like I'm just like that. I don't want to touch any other game until I'm done with this one. This is one of the only games that I've been compelled to do every single side quest.
Can we both agree though that it is hella weird to see some Final Fantasy 15 characters in there?
Wait, what?
There are Final Fantasy 15 characters in Final Fantasy.
I was just about to say I haven't seen that yet.
Spoiler alert! What the hell are you talking about?
Like, there's one or two that are in there that is just like, this is
I
a
haven't seen that yet.
20-year difference.
Really?
You posted it on Twitter, Miss Flora.
Yeah.
She's in Final Fantasy 15. And she looks the exact same.
I didn't catch it.
It's a side
Miss
quest,
Foley.
but yeah, she's in Final Fantasy 15, and this is like, this is weird.
Miss Foley. You know what? I didn't even catch
Folia.
it. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Oh yeah,
What I did
because I've been
catch
playing it.
what she does with her spare time. Yeah.
No, we don't. Let's not
At the
spoil that for
pedestal.
anybody.
I'm not even gonna.
Yeah, don't-
Or
don't
when
spoil,
Cloud
please.
gets that
my
hand
bad, y'all.
massage.
Please.
My bad, y'all. I
Just
didn't give
let
away
know that Aerith and Tifa look good.
You could
Also-
easily miss it, though. It's something you could easily miss if you're not paying
It's
attention.
one of those things, yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's Final Fantasy 15 characters in Final Fantasy 7, and I'm like, this is weird as hell.
Nerd.
On the cool, J
Nerd.
Dub forwarded for me, but it didn't click until I saw it in the game.
Of course. We're not going to talk about what she does. We're not going to spoil anything for y'all, though.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go into detail, but yeah, J Dub spoiled it for me on Twitter, but it didn't click until I actually saw it.
No
So
spoilers, alright?
I really didn't
Come on.
spoil anything for y'all just now.
How do you feel with the game so far, and is it complete? Did they release all the episodes?
No, it's
No.
just
It is just Midgar.
yeah.
As
Oh.
far as
That's it.
It's only Midgar.
Why you gotta say
But-
that like you're saying a dirty word?
Yeah,
Midgar.
nigger.
Mid-
It's not safe for Kevin to say it that way.
It's not. Midgar is what you're trying to say there.
Mid-
Some of the clips I've
Midgar
seen,
is,
there's some dirty stuff. Huh?
Y'all heard
When I
Kevin
say
say
Midgar-
Midgar on the 2XP podcast?
Whoa. I'm only saying I didn't smoke the whole blunt. I stopped in mid.
Boy,
Nah, but- Okay, so I'm really into the combat. It took me a second. I got whooped in the demo, and it took me a few fights for it to click. But when it did, it clicked, and I'm really
So
into the combat.
here's my question for you, because I only played the demo so far, and it felt fairly good to me. The only thing I didn't like is it seemed like when I wasn't in direct control of one of the other people in the party, they were just doing complete stupid crap and like not contributing at all. Like,
Yeah.
is that, am I wrong, or is it necessary for you to keep swapping between everybody? Because that could kind of annoy me.
Yes and no, because in some cases you want to swap just because there might be something in particular that you want to do, and it
Right.
feels good strategically to do that swap and be the one to do it yourself. But you can set it some in some ways it works like say with materia, they have say a auto heal materia, so
Hmm.
you give it to somebody and say 3 times within this battle, then they'll heal you automatically, and from there you have to
Okay.
figure it out yourself. Um, and then you can kind of set what they do and you know how like Kingdom Hearts had um commands you can give,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
kind of do that, but
Okay.
half the fun in the battles is giving them commands like mid battle, letting them do whatever they want to do, like
Okay.
hitting say R2, telling this person to use this spell, and then moving back to your character and doing what you want to do.
Because
Half
I like,
the fun.
that's what I really like. I was like, I enjoy this combat system the most. Like, the longer I get to stay with one person, because it's cool to like get into it, trying to time your dodges and everything, roll around, position, use your attacks. But then it's like, shit, I got to stop this every 5 seconds to go check on useless who's shooting at a wall over here or something like that, just to get them to
Yep.
friggin' focus and do something to contribute to the battle.
Exactly. And if you really like one character and you just really want to fight with that one character and it's not Cloud most of the time, you can actually choose a separate leader. So you
Yeah,
can
I
choose
saw that.
somebody
It'll
else.
let you. Yeah, yeah. I think they had that in the demo as well, if I remember right. But yeah, I thought that was pretty neat.
It's pretty dope. I'm really really into the combat. The things that I don't like about it, I mean the things I like about it outweigh the things I don't like about it. One thing that you hear a lot of is like textures. Sometimes they pop
Oh,
in late, sometimes
I
it's
seen some of them textures look like they straight from PS1.
yeah, like it's like playing The Witcher 3. And when something doesn't load in at the right time, it's like a cow with no fur, like a plastic cow walking down the street. Like it's like
That's
that
the
kind of
RAM though. At that point, that's not the texture. The texture was there. The RAM just hasn't loaded it.
exactly. But here's the issue. Um, and this is not really a spoiler. There's a room somewhere, like you get sort of an apartment early on in the game, and the door texture when you first get there, it just does not pop in anytime soon. I am pretty far into the game at this point. I'm on chapter maybe 9 ish. Um, yeah, that door texture still hasn't loaded. Like,
It never will at this point.
Listen, man, coronavirus is going on. The maintenance man can't make it up there to install your proper door. Okay, so you're just gonna have to work with what you got. All right, don't be picky, man. It's all
but
about social distancing and staying safe.
story wise, I'm with it. And like, I heard somebody sort of gripe about the way they handle Sephiroth in the game, and I kind of dig it if like you play Crisis Core
Oh
and
yeah.
like if you play Crisis Core, you'll kind of understand what they're going for, and you might appreciate it like I appreciate it.
Is it like Final Fantasy 15, where you have to watch Brotherhood to kind of get all of Brotherhood and Kingsglaive to get all of what's going on, or is it like you played Final Fantasy and then you uh, Children of Advent and it's like an extra, or do you have
It's
to get outside sources to kind of understand it?
if you never played a Final Fantasy game before, if you're not into RPGs, JRPGs, just in general, you probably shouldn't touch it if you don't like RPGs. But if you are interested in Final Fantasy and this is your first one, it's still cool. If you never played the original Final Fantasy 7 and never watched any of the expanded media, it's still dope. Um, but if you have, say, watched Advent Children, or if you did play the original, or if you did, like right now, I'm replaying the original that I never actually finished when I was younger. Um,
Because it took forever when you were a kid.
yeah, and there's still so much stuff connecting in between the two
Mhm.
games. So you'll appreciate it a lot more if you're a fan of the expanded media. There's like little hints of things that you'll really like, little hints that you'll catch if you play, say, Crisis Core. Um, every bit of expanded media or original media that you consume, there's something there to appreciate in Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Is it worth picking up right now, or should people wait till it's all out?
It's I would pick it up right now for a couple different reasons. One, thus far, I do feel as if I've been playing a complete game. if I knew nothing about Final Fantasy VII, I wouldn't have any inkling that there was more story past this because I don't know how close I am to the end of the game at this point, but I don't feel shortchanged at all. And
Really?
I was really kind of worried about that in the beginning. Like it's worth the $60 thus far.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
curious how many
That's
parts
what
it's
I
going
was
to
worried
take.
about.
Like, I want to. The thing about a Final Fantasy type game, and this is the same way. Last game I really got with this was Dragon Quest 11. When it comes to JRPGs, it puts me in that mood where it's like I must
I
have
want to play.
all final armors, all final weapons, all completed quests. Like it gets my
Mm-hmm.
completionist out of me. So I want to sit there, and that's the kind of game where I expect to put in 120, 150 hours to do everything I want to do. So if I
exactly.
only get it in 30-bit chunks, it's like me trying to watch an anime that's airing live. Like I struggle to do that. I hate waiting each week for a new episode. I want
Yep.
to binge it all at once.
I let
I'm
them
right
build
there.
up.
Yep.
Like the last couple
It
of Black
gives you
Clovers, I let like 5 episodes build up. I was like, all right, now I'm ready. Boom, 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 boom,
Yeah.
boom, 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 boom.
it there is some incentive to get every single weapon you can. Like there's definitely an incentive because every weapon has sort of a special move, I guess, like a special thing about it. A skill, and the more you use that skill, the closer you get, like the more points go into that skill, and once you hit 100%, you learn that skill. So once you
Okay.
learn that skill, you don't need to use that weapon to use that skill. So there's an incentive there to use
Oh,
to
I
find
like
that's
that.
every weapon
very.
you can.
I like
That's
that.
like Bloodstain. Once you level up the shards to 9, you could use the shards anytime. That's interesting.
So like the
How do you
original
think
Buster
that's
Sword,
gonna carry over though?
hopefully you can take it.
Because there are people that go to whatever max level you can get right now, and then when you get the next part, you'll be a certain level they expect you to be. Will that make it weird because you'll be, let's say, level 99, and you go into the next part and they'll expect you to be level 20? Will it balance out well?
Part of me
Is
thinks
because
that
you're the only one that's played.
Square Enix might want you to forget that this game was out when the next one comes out. Like part of me thinks that it's gonna be so long in between this one and the next one that
I
you'll
hope not,
forget and
dude.
just completely start over.
I
I've
hope
been
not.
waiting 20 years.
I really hope
So
not.
if they wanna readjust like your level and your respective skill stats and all that, I could see that. But don't remove skills that I've acquired. Like that was a
Yeah, that's
part of the game. So if I've acquired the skill, let me keep it. Lower my level and all that to make it less effective, so I have to grind back up in the new game. Fine, but don't just completely
mm-hmm.
take it away from me. That would be dumb. Because then it's like, what's the
Like
point of me getting that skill in the first part of it in the first place?
Kev, you can probably agree because you played Destiny too. It's like,
Hmm.
don't take away my skills, but give me those light levels because now
Yeah.
I'm working for that.
Yeah, find a new way to like do that or rebalance that, but don't take away the skills. If it was something that I grinded for, that I acquired and earned, you're gonna let me keep that no matter what, how many versions of the game you carry over through, like to make one
Mm-hmm.
complete saga, I guess.
That's what I kind of worry
Mm-hmm.
about. Like I wonder if it's going to be like sort of Mass Effectish in the next installment,
Mm,
or like say Witcher 3 where you didn't really, unless you played these games on PC. In The Witcher 3 you really didn't have your data from the last games. So you kind of had to answer questions that fit what you did in the past games. I'm
Mm-hmm.
wondering what approach they're going to take because at this point in the game I really can't tell what it might look like
You
in
know what
the
they
next one.
could do is, God, again, I'm going back to BioWare, is BioWare has the Dragon Keep, which is when you play Dragon Age, you can go and it'll track if you've played Origins 2 and Inquisition, and you can make the choices that you made. If it can't track your game data, you can make the choices that you made in the game, and then it'll like change your story, and like Liliana will have a different story, or Morgan will have a different story. Maybe they'll do something like that, where it's like an online thing where you can change. Maybe it can't track what you've done story to story, but it can track that you can make the choices that you've made in the story, and then it will carry on kind of like that.
Yeah. Well, with Final Fantasy, it's so linear that there's not really too much that you can do that everybody else wouldn't do within their story. It's
It's
more
true.
your levels,
The
the
levels.
items you pick up. Um, what level your weapons are at. Because you do level up those weapons as you go. There's a system where each weapon that you have kind of levels up in different ways. They all have sort of skill points in themselves, and you unlock skills for each particular weapon. So I don't know. It's there's not really much different that another person playing this game is going to see than I see, unless they do a lot more exploring than me. But I'm really going out of my way to make sure I see every single thing I can in the game.
Dallas is a lore hound. He will find all that extra good. So.
You know what? I gotta say this, and it kind of reminded me because of Demi's meme. You want to hear some savagery from my wife? So the day I got
what did your wife do?
The day I got out of quarantine, you know what she said to me? She came busting the room. She's like, "Man, you know what's weak as fuck?" Sorry for cussing. She comes to busting. You know what's weak as fuck? I go, "What?" She go, "Your immune system."
Yes.
And I was just like, "What can I say?" Because I'm the only one out that got COVID. She can't. She know what's weak as fuck. I'm like, yo. The fact that she said, I was like, yo, what's going on? Like something happened. She go, your immune system. I was like, oh, okay.
Dap her up, because that's fire.
Like I said, this episode might run a little longer because there's a few things we want to cover before we leave. But
yes.
Fame, as the person with the Rona, did you use an excess of toilet paper? Because I need to know why people is buying toilet paper.
I got about 200 rolls of toilet paper left, and that saved my life. All jokes aside,
was that your treatment?
All jokes aside, I really do have about 200 rolls of toilet paper. I'm not gonna lie about that. I do. But no, man, that's why they don't do nothing.
I just want to know, like, what, why?
So I didn't tell you all the reasoning behind that?
No.
So it originated when the virus started spreading rapidly in China, right? Because the same large company that manufactures all the masks in China also manufactures toilet paper. And so people were concerned that they were going to switch over production to make a whole bunch of masks, and there was going to be a shortage of toilet paper. So people went out and started panic buying toilet paper. Well, other parts of the world didn't pay attention to why China was worried about running out. So they just heard, buy a bunch of toilet paper. And stupid people do what stupid people do. I heard it. It must be true. Run to Walmart and buy me 87,000 rolls of toilet paper, thereby creating a shortage that never should have happened in the first place.
And then the smart people got to run out and buy toilet paper because the stupid people buying it all.
Well, I hope my team has no toilet paper. If you need me to mail you a roll, just holler at me. I got you. So I'm gonna make sure I keep y'all butts clean. You know, so it's all good. I got y'all.
Let's burn through some of these topics. Dallas, what is DualSense?
We talked about that.
Yeah, we talked about the DualSense.
We talked about that. Yeah. The DualSense.
I was probably grabbing a beer. Okay, if we talked about it, let's move on. How is the Rona affecting the industry, specifically the gaming industry? Because if we get into other industries, which I want to get into later, we can be here all day.
Here's the thing, and it kind of affects one side of it, not the other one, sort of in a way. So, as far as people buying games, that really hasn't stopped or slowed down because 80% of people buy digital anyway. It's not very many people like me who prefer physical over digital, right? So people are still buying games.
And if you're like me and Demi, you got like 300 games in the backlog. Me, Devi, and Kev, I should say.
The only thing
300 games in the backlog.
The only thing that hurts is all the bigger games are being delayed.
Fame don't play games.
Last of Us 2.
Fame don't play games.
Which is
don't be shocked if Ghost of Tsushima gets delayed.
Let's not get to game delays yet. Just in the industry general.
That affects the industry because these games are going to get pushed back because these developers are, instead of them being inside of one studio working together, they're having to work from
officially home. What has been delayed? Last of Us 2.
But more are coming.
What else?
More are coming.
What is still going forward? Cyberpunk.
They're saying they won't delay Cyberpunk again, that it's on schedule.
They probably will.
We know. Yeah, exactly.
Here's my thing about I don't really care. If they got to delay stuff, then I get it. Delay it. I'm not going to be able to do anything about it anyway, and me getting upset not going to help anything. So screw it. Just
remember when people were upset,
be honest about it, and give it to me at that time. And then
but here's the question, though, Snips. Here's the question: Does it matter to you why? Because it's one thing, say, if Cyberpunk is being delayed because, whoever needs to do mocap can't come in and they can't be around people, that's one thing. In the case of The Last of Us Part 2, it's just, well, we're done with the game, but we're not going to be able to get these physical copies out the way we want to get these out, and we don't want to release it digital unless everybody can have it that wants it physical.
Nah,
then we fall into the same problem that was the
Yeah.
convention thing. I didn't mean to cut you off, baby.
No, you're
The
good.
same convention thing that when they wouldn't show up to PAX, it's like, are they making excuses? We talked about this on the last episode. You go ahead, baby.
Again,
Because you're intelligent. Flex those brains.
It's
Mm.
try to do a brain flex.
Yes.
Again, the reasoning doesn't matter to me as much because I still don't have any control over it. If it's something that I can't control and the delay is going to happen no matter what, just tell me about it. Be honest about it with how far you're going to move it back to, and then try and honor that. The where you're going to piss me off is if you lie and we're like, oh yeah, we'll have it next month, and then you have to delay it again. Don't do any of that crap. But yeah, man, unless your reasoning for why your game is delayed, if they're like, hey, you know what? We're delaying this game because Kevin, aka Citizen Snips, is a real asshole. Like, then at that point, oh my god, my bad. Like, I'll care because I'm an influencing factor and I should do something to change my behavior. But aside from that, if it's shit that I can't control, just let me know. Just be honest with me. Let me know. I'll buy the game when it comes out because I want to play it anyway. But don't jerk me around and friggin', push it back 8 or 7 times. Do it once, do it right, and then release the game and we're good.
Hey, Other Zinc, I'm with you, man. I'd be mad if Halo Infinite got delayed.
Other Zinc also said only Sony games are delayed in depth. Not true, but okay.
Trying to start some shit.
If you say
The big AAA games are delayed indefinitely. Not. I've been playing. I'm on the Demi boat. Yeah.
Hey, Xbox,
I'm on the Demi boat. Shut up. Nope.
You're gonna say something
don't
reckless.
Acknowledge you. Don't say something reckless, because I'm gonna come over there and whoop you. I'm in the Demi boat. I've been playing a lot of indie games. Like in Fame, you take that dumb shit that you was about to say and take it out your mouth.
Oh, I was about to say something.
I was saying if Dallas say something reckless, I'm gonna snip it and tag all the Xbox family I know on Twitter to come after his ass.
That's cool.
I was like, I thought Fame was coming in with some dumb shit. I was like, I'll put you back in the hospital, little man. Like,
hey y'all, Xbox games should delay all generation.
Here we go.
But like, even
drop the digital, man.
It'll come out on PC first.
Yeah, drop the digital. I'm still somebody who likes physical. I'm like the old guys in this podcast. I like physical because I like the collector's edition, but drop the digital sometimes. Physical. Let's get physical.
But if there's no other way for you to get it, or if it's gonna take a while or take too long anyway.
Drop that digital.
Especially when GameStop has had their business license pulled in 5 states now. Boom.
Oh, bro, we should have been talking about GameStop.
I mean, I said this podcast was going to run a little longer because we just have so much stuff to get through. So if we want to talk about a little bit about GameStop, let's burn through that right now.
We got a couple of minutes.
We got
hold on,
California,
before y'all start, I will say this, and people are gonna hate me for it. I will say this: GameStop
is a
does
hallowed
not
institution.
Need to go under. It is the only gaming store where it's nothing in there but gaming stuff. It does not need to die. If GameStop dies, it's gonna affect people more than they think. GameStop does not need to die. I'm sorry. If they don't.
Just take all the inventory from GameStop and put it in ThinkGeek, and you got the same exact.
Plus, I own stock in GameStop. So I don't need to.
Maybe we have. Maybe the US is different. Yeah, maybe the US is different, but we have like little game stores here in Canada that are kind of like GameStop, but on a smaller. It's not GameStop here. I should say EB Games.
But doesn't GameStop own EB Games? It's the same company, right?
It's the same company, right?
It's the same company, but a different like division. Hold on, double TJ 22. Sorry, I'm dyslexic. 225. I prefer physical too, but only for single player games. we'll get into that.
I can
Um,
understand. I can see
Because
that.
EB Games used to be out here.
EV Games is
Bring
the
back
one in
Funko Land.
Canada. Yeah,
I own
but
stop at GameStop, so yes, I'll go out and support GameStop so Frank can keep his
I have
money.
a friend who works at who there's a Reddit thread on I can't remember, I think it's Our Gaming, where they talked about how the company was to the media, they will give you the cleaning supplies, but then they would turn to the store managers like, you have to go buy that. You have to
Are
go protect your people.
I'm
It would
glad
be
you
all on
mentioned
their
the
own
cleaning
pain track.
supplies. As us all being gamers and in some way or another, y'all can say what y'all want. We men, so we don't like to think of ourselves this way, but in the gaming industry, it's very messy.
Oh god,
Um,
it's messy.
that being said, are any of you,
Wash out
lady
there,
and
man.
gentlemen, familiar with the YouTuber Camelot 331?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Okay,
Sounds like he
so
just made them
so
up.
Demi, you know where I'm going with this, right?
Yes. Oh my God.
Is it gonna be real nasty?
So
Uh,
I'm gonna give y'all the short version. So Camelot is a YouTube
PG version, please.
short PG version, even though the F word has already been said like at least twice today. Um,
Nobody needs to know.
he
It was
is
feigned both
a
times.
YouTuber who started off telling stories about random stuff that happened at GameStop because he worked there for 11 years before he finally quit.
Oh my god.
And he has a lot of very interesting, just behind the scenes stories about GameStop over the years. But then people started hitting him up and saying, "Hey, I still work at GameStop. XYZ is happening over here." And so he gets like the
Oh
inside
god.
scoop on all types of crazy stuff that happened. And one of those things was a conference call with the higher ups at GameStop.
Oh
And
no.
they were addressing some concerns with their employees about the coronavirus and how they planned on dealing with it. Long story short, they are making hand sanitizer within the warehouse in Grapevine.
Making
Making, which is according to them, basically just rubbing alcohol.
Rubbing alcohol, aloe vera, and something else. That's all it
Yeah,
is.
it's not hand sanitizer. That's a
and
weird lotion.
when this is over, they plan on selling that hand sanitizer overseas, which is illegal because it's not
I,
FDA approved. But
I
we're not gonna go there.
I bet you Reggie's looking at this stuff like, oh my god, what have I done?
For real, I'm so sorry, Reggie, that they pulled you into this nonsense.
What again was the channel for people to go on?
Camelot 331.
Mm. If
If
you
you
guys watch that, I guarantee you'll be pissed off at some point.
You will. Because like it's basically just illustrating how little GameStop, the higher ups at GameStop. I won't say as a corporation, but it's still the same thing. It sort of illustrates the culture at GameStop and why people are so adamant about them needing to go out of business. I'm one of those people that I'm of the same mind as a bunch of us that we need that place for us as gamers. There needs to be something, and GameStop is the only one. But if y'all got to go down for another one to rise up, then cool, let that happen because it's just
Yeah,
going too far at this point.
I think GameStop has gone the way. And as much as I love her, the celebrities of this age, when Gal Gadot put out that "Sing with Us, Imagine" in our million, there's going to be a lot of things that, and a lot of things, a lot of people, a lot of companies, we're already seeing it, that are being pointed out as frauds, as they don't care. Like, people are on a limited income, no matter how much you work for. Eventually, you're going to run out or run close to a limited supply of money. And these game companies don't care. They still want you to pay full price, all this stuff. It's like, well, I'm not going to buy your game. And I think game sales, as Fame was saying, game sales are at a level right now, but eventually we'll start to see a decline because am I going to pay rent or am I going to buy this video game?
Video
You got to
game.
pick and choose.
Video
I would rather
game.
pay rent.
I'm behind
I
the
don't
video
pay
game.
rent. So yeah,
I had a friend that was staying at
I'll pay my
University of
mortgage.
Maryland on the dorms, got kicked out, had 3 days to move out. And their family lives across the country. And I'm like, what are you going to do? Like, I really don't know.
Hey,
Because you can't fly.
I hate to cut
Schools
us
don't
off,
care.
but we as a group have something very important that we have to do, like right now.
We still got a few more topics.
Y'all get my drift. Yeah, but we got to get that thing,
No, no,
Swear
no,
away.
no, 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 no,
Wait,
no.
wait,
Don't
hold
do
on.
it.
I'm not gonna
Are
say
we
it, but
talking about?
I'm saying we have to do that thing that we talked about before the
No,
show.
no, 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 please don't.
Okay, are you saying we have to announce it, or we have to
No,
do
no,
it?
no. We need to go do it.
Oh, okay. I was just
No, please don't.
Don't.
okay. No, he's not talking about what you think he talking about. I was just trying to be clear.
Oh,
Yeah,
That's-
he's
it's all
talking
good.
about what I'm exactly thinking about because I
Yeah.
know that little twisted mind over there.
No, 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 no. I'm talking about
Nah, he wasn't about to say nothing, but we have to do it.
we need to go do it. Like it's getting late. So
All right, get it done so we can get on to the next topic.
no, we need to stop the show so we can go do it.
Yeah.
No.
It's already 8:30. We ain't about to do a 5-hour podcast, woman. Okay.
No, we're
What
gonna
are
have
we,
to.
a painkiller already on that? No, thank you.
I do apologize. We will get back and hit all the topics we missed today along next week, but we do got to get some stuff taken care of. We do. So
It's one of my favorite memes.
let's get things. First off, everybody who came through, man, thank you for watching. If you watched it live, didn't watch it live, we really appreciate it. To my right, Citizen Snips.
Yo, thanks for coming by, everybody. I don't even know what to say about half these shenanigans these people get into. I'm just an innocent bystander in it all. But I
He is.
appreciate you coming out to watch. Hopefully, y'all had some fun, and we'll be back next week, barring any catastrophes. So we'll see y'all then, hopefully.
Underneath Snips, DallazMan.
Man, this is a good one. I'm not gonna lie. We can't go on no more hiatuses. But shout out to the other Zinc. Shout out to Mr. Too Opinionated. Shout out to who else? been
Patrick.
talking a lot in the chat? Yeah, Patrick.
Double TJ.
Yeah, TJ, double TJ. Shout out to all of y'all. Make it just as fun as we make it. We here for y'all.
Next Wednesday, y'all.
Next Wednesday. Let's not go on too much of a hiatus. That's it. That's all I gotta say. Just what's up.
To the left of Dallas, Hugger, Floor Hugger.
What is up, my guys? Like I said, we was away for a while because the man with the most karma coming to him with the tiny things,
Wanna be
small
started?
packages, whatever it was.
Got to be started.
Exactly. We got some big things coming up for y'all. We coming back next week. Maybe we'll do like an extra video where we talk about the things we didn't get to cover because we can knock some of those out in like 20 minutes.
Yes.
But I'm glad you guys are okay. I'm glad everybody's kind of staying sane in this situation. And if you guys want to talk to us, we are on Twitter. If you guys want to add us, some of our names are different on Discord, but message us on Twitter. I'm always looking for people to play with, especially like Elder Scrolls Online and all that stuff. Come play with us. Demi's always down to play with some people. He's playing Call of Duty heavy. Dallas, when he's not playing Final Fantasy, he gonna be playing something else. Fame, when he's not playing Dauntless. Oh, is there a time when he's not playing Dauntless though?
Man, I was
When
getting
he's
into
not
Warzone
playing-
before then, so y'all hit me up.
Yeah, when he's not playing something. When Kev Citizen Snips, he's always playing Overwatch. He's
Or
the
Valorant, maybe.
esports guy. Like if you want some Overwatch stuff, I don't know if he's gonna play Valorant after this, but make sure to hit us all up. We're always there. We're always here to talk to you, especially this time we're just here together. We're playing together. We're playing video games. Hit us up. We'll be down to play, and see you guys next week, pending no meteor comes and strikes us down.
And adjacent to Hugger is Mr. Two Something to Do Something, Demi God Reviews.
What's going on, people? What's going on? I'm glad to be part of the podcast. I'm here to tell you that I stream on Twitch. I do videos on YouTube, and I post a lot on Twitter and Instagram. All of that is Demi God Reviews on everything. Show some love. Come follow me. I'm always talking about music, other random things, life, about being black, all types of stuff. I'm posting up Resident Evil right after this, my Let's Play of it, and then I'm going to post up my Bleeding Edge review finally, so that way y'all can hear about how much I truly enjoy this game.
Spoiler alert.
The
let's
lies
start
you
that.
tell.
Spoiler.
But how much I truly enjoy this game. So yeah, guys, just come on through, come enjoy yourselves. I'm always a funny person. Don't be weird. That's all I ask. And if you are weird, be the cool weird, not the weird weird where it's like you. No, I don't want to have to call you
I'm
all
the
that.
cool weird.
Yeah, so that's it.
All right, and I
Thank you.
am.
No, before we go, Meek, he's not here. Follow him on Twitter, Xbox. Does he have PC or PlayStation 4?
PS4.
Xbox PS4. Go follow him. I'm sure he would love the support. He's just not with us right now. And yeah, see you guys next week.
I am Fame Entertainment. This was Level 103. Thank y'all for rocking with us once again. We'll be back next week. We got some work to go do. It's been real. If you are watching, like, share, subscribe. Let your voice be heard. And we out. Peace.